The speaker's not, that big, so
yep.
you hang on to it.
Okay, I'm hearing other people. I'm going to open the meeting here, and I'd like to get the other folks muted.
Okay, I've got everyone muted.
Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order. The Selectmen's meeting of July 28th, 2020 at 4 p.m. The first thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes of our last meeting of July 14th.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I will second that motion. And John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. Barbara's not here today. She had another engagement, and we will miss her, but she won't be voting. We also need to approve the minutes of our last non-public meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I will second that motion. John, how do you vote?
I vote affirmative.
Bennett, yes.
Hey, Dick.
Okay.
This is Julie. Dick, it's Julie Atwell.
Hi.
Hi, can we just take a moment? We need to identify who's in the meeting. So if Julie Hoyt can just unmute people one by one, if we can say the last four of a phone number that's dialed in, then we can identify who's attended with us.
I'm just going through the list right now to see who I can identify. So,
Okay, I'll wait a minute and let's get that straightened out. That's fine.
Julie, if we just go through, there's an ongoing list. We can just unmute and ask.
I have that.
Right.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the one that's listed on the computer now, not the one that we have generated.
Yes, I know. I've got that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So the last number 2552. Can you state your name?
Driscoll.
Joanne Driscoll?
Joanne Driscoll?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Last four, 5168.
That's me, Barbara Terrio.
Hi, Barbara. Okay, last four, 0808.
Bob Santoro, I'm alone.
Thanks, Bob. Let's see. Last four, 6973.
Ken Carpenter.
Thank you. Okay, last four, 5271.
Ellie Copel.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Ellie Copel.
Oh, Ellie, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I think that might be it.
Emily Benson and Peter Benson are both here.
I already got you, Emily. Thanks.
6163 is Brian Serino.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's it.
Okay, then, let's see, I was going to We approved the minutes of our non-public. Our next is up for discussion. Actually, Emily Benson, if you would give us an update on elections coming up.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. So, yeah, I've been meeting, Peter, Jay, and Karen Burton and I met over at the Whitney Center on July 23rd to take a look at sort of how the layout is going to be or a proposed layout for the elections. Karen has brought that plan to Willis Kelly to take a look at it. Karen and I are going to be meeting tomorrow morning to just go up to the town garage. There's an idea that perhaps that might be another option. We feel pretty confident about what we've got laid out in the Whitney Center, but just wanted to give you a heads up that there is just that consideration of the town garage. I did receive notification from the state that I'll be picking up the PPE for the elections in Conway on August 12th. So we do have the supplies that will be coming, and those are for both elections. So that's good news on that. Should I talk about any other EMD-related things?
Sure, any of it. Do you know how much the state is giving us in supplies?
No, that is something that was worked out based on population and some input from town officials. I believe it's, Karen's office, the town clerk's office. So there was a little bit of concern. Each town has their own unique layouts. So it does give us some time to evaluate that, and certainly the fact that they give it for both elections, if we go through all of it, certainly need to, not all of it, but certainly need to reassess in time for November. I don't know if there's anything more Karen's on the chip, but we can, keep you posted if we have concerns.
That'd be great. Anything else you have would be wonderful at this time.
I just a heads up that, I've continued to connect with residents and, different spots in town. I'm going to be meeting, Kevin Bennett and I are going to be meeting with Gail Dembowski tomorrow regarding the school reopening. And, they're working hard in conjunction with all the efforts of SU 9 at looking at the safest plan. Of course, there are some, possibilities of making some unique decisions for our Jackson students, so we'll be meeting with them. I've also been in touch with folks at the library as they look to continue to do some reopening, maybe some limited hours within the building itself. So providing them with information and links to information to help them be as safe as possible on that. And then we had a meeting with John Stevens of the Department of Safety last week at the firehouse regarding improving the cell coverage in Pinkham Notch. This is a concern that was brought forward by residents to me about a month ago, and able to convene officials from Gorham Fire, Selectmen, Bartlett Fire, and just express the EMS-related concerns up there and get an update from the state and the work that they've been doing with AT&T in increasing coverage throughout the state, particularly as it relates with the FirstNet EMS communication system. And so John did share that there is equipment coming online up on the summit of Mount Washington at some point this fall. And Jay and the other fire chiefs are going to be in touch with AT&T and provided with some test phones to see how, once that coverage goes live, how that helps with being able to have better communication. So that's ongoing, but it was great to be able to have folks, virtually and in the room to share some of those concerns and look at how the technology has advanced through the years. So, and Dick, you were there as well. Glad you could attend. I don't know if there's any other questions on that, but that's it.
Well, I had one question because this was all driven by a private citizen and not just the, fire and rescue emergency services. So are the private citizens going to be able to tap into this, or do they have to switch over to AT&T to have that coverage up in the notch?
Well, from my understanding, if there is a 911 emergency, that will go across any cell provider line. So even if they're not on AT&T, if, say, you have Verizon, but the AT&T tower that goes live and provides the coverage, 911 calls will go over any system. But if they want to make regular phone calls, then that would require switching over to AT&T. So that is a long way, well, kind of a long way out at this point. The first thing is to see when they get this equipment online on the summit, whether that's going to work out. I was able to connect John with staff up at Wildcat so that they can talk with them if that's something that improves coverage as well. So at least if there's an emergency, hopefully with the AT&T coverage, a 911 call could be placed. But there's other boosters and things that might be possible. I have not become an expert on all that technology. But I spoke with one of the residents yesterday, actually, at the post office, and continue to keep them apprised. We'll see what happens.
All right, that's actually good news that a 911 call would go to any tower that was available.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So, but you have to be able to have that coverage. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you still have to get some kind of coverage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah. And I guess, well, just one last thing. We just continue to monitor the numbers of COVID cases across the state and the country. Just watching, there is a lot of concern. Obviously, it's the height of the tourist season, so stay safe.
Well, we've already had a couple more cases in Carroll counties. I think we do just have to keep track and try to be safe and, not do stupid things. Hope for the best. All right, our
Thank
next, hello. Our next item is Vista Way easement from the town. That's all in play. Julie Atwell?
That's actually an old agenda you're looking at. The next one is the trustees of the trust funds warrant article funding and withdrawal.
Okay, so that was eliminated from this one. And I have
to be on a future agenda.
Okay. Sorry, I always do this. For the trustees of the trust funds, the Jackson Selectmen authorized the transfer of $165,500 to be deposited into the capital reserve funds and the expendable trust funds per the warrant articles listed below. Road Reconstruction Capital Reserve Fund 0064, Article 4, $65,000. Police Department Cruiser Capital Reserve Fund 0027, Article 4, $15,500. Bridge Repair Expendable Trust number 0034, Article 5, $85,000, a total of $165,000. And then for a withdrawal, dear trustees, the Board of Selectmen are requesting the following withdrawals from the trust funds as indicated below. $165 from the Wentworth Wildcat Fund 0029, invoice 758503 dated 7/2/2020, FF&J Excavating. John, I'd like a motion on accepting those.
All right, we'll make a motion to accept those withdrawals.
Withdrawal and funding. Okay, I will second that. John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. All right. Now, we have short-term rentals, discuss procedures, notifications via tax bills. We've had just an unbelievable number of complaints about short-term rentals, and we've had everything from just out-and-out noise complaints, overloading houses, kind of that animal house or frat house mentality that these people are, you know, here in the North Country, they're here to party and, you know, they want to make their presence known, and it's really unfortunate because it's disturbing our neighborhoods. The people who live here, it's just not what we signed up for. I mean, we live in rural New Hampshire, and we'd really like to keep it that way. What we can do about it is really hard to say because we have an ordinance in place now. We have a procedure for complaints. All the complaints have to come into the office. We need an address. We need your name, anybody who's complaining. We need your name. We need the address of the residence you're complaining about, what the nature of the complaint is. We need to follow up this, the selectmen need to follow up on any police complaints that have come in, and the owner of the residence will get a first-time letter, which is a warning that there's been a problem at their property and there's been a complaint. A second time from the same property, a complaint will result in a fine, which is in place. The wording for that fine is in place. And a third complaint for the same residence will result in the withdrawal of their permit. So we do have some avenues in place for, you know, policing this activity, but I don't know if it'll be enough. We haven't really discussed where all this and how it all goes. We haven't really looked into what's happening with the complaints. I don't think that was our intent when we were going to allow short-term rentals. It was something that was taking place anyway in the town, and we just tried to make it legal rather than non-conforming use in the rural residential area. So if I could get people, and that's what it's going to come down to for right now, is a neighbor who is offended by either noise or fireworks or beer cans all over the place. You have to bring it to us and bring it to us in writing, and we will certainly do everything we can to curtail that. John?
Yeah, my question is, I'm looking at the spreadsheet that was given out for our approval of the short-term rentals. I only see one that's actually been approved so far, and I guess we were to approve several others in today's meeting, if possible or not, or whatever it comes out to be. But I'm just concerned these people are renting Airbnbs. How can we enforce any rules if they haven't filled out the proper paperwork or are on our list to be approved?
Well, that's what I have to find out another way. I'm not going to go through the approvals if we've already had a complaint and they don't even have a permit yet. So I think that's the whole process has to slow down a little, and I think we have to be a lot more careful about how we approve this. It isn't just a slam dunk. It comes out of the planning board. Oh yeah, it's fine. That's a house. It's on the lot that they say it is. No, we really have to look into this. So I personally would like to slow the process down and make sure. I mean, I want to look and see if we've already had complaints about an address that is now applying for a permit. And if that's the case, I think we have to be really careful. And I don't have...
What do you mean by careful? Not giving them a permit to begin with, or give them a permit and a warning right off the bat, or how are we going to deal with that?
Complaint, yeah, we have to start with a warning. I mean, you get your permit and you already strike one. Mm. Your property has been used by, whoever, people that are not trying to be good neighbors. So I think, yes, if we approve that, then they start off with a one strike against them. Also, I do not have any documentation from the planning board about their comments on any of these applications, so I don't know where you want to go with that. Part of the process is for them to make comment, and I would like that to happen.
I notice on some of the notes here that on the spreadsheet it says no building permit or septic design on file. Is that a requirement?
Well, if there isn't, if a residence is that old, I suppose it could date back to the time before all that was documented. We'll just have to try to figure out, what they have going there. I mean, do you have a working septic system that a 3-bedroom house has worked for the last 30 years? Okay, then I guess we would say you've got a 3-bedroom permit. I don't know. That's why I'm a little in the fog about how we enforce. I don't know. We really need to talk about it. We need to talk about it with Chief Pearlie. We need to talk about it with our building inspector. And we need to talk about it with ourselves, looking at the ordinance and saying, what do we want to do here? Do we want to just, are we just the wide open spaces and whatever happens as long as you're making money at it, it's okay? Or are we going to try to, say, yes, we can have short-term rentals, but you're going to have to adhere to our ordinances, and we'll have to check on how many is this just a business? Are you just turning it over one right after another? We do have a limit. I think there's 30 rentals a year. We don't know. I don't know where all our enforcement is going to step in. So I'd like to see it step in right at the beginning with the planning board when they review a permit, if they've really checked off that these people have egress. I don't want to be the town that has a fire and there was a bunk room in the cellar with, 5 kids in it that couldn't get out because there was no egress window or there was no egress from that room. And, it is a life safety problem. It's a septic problem. It's a noise problem. It's all of it. And our complaints range through all of that. Overloaded houses and noise and bad driving and, the whole thing. So we have to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to administer it.
Any kind of time frame?
I don't know what the time frame. I would certainly want to do this as quickly as possible. I mean, we have to, we're not going to disallow short-term rentals. That's going to happen. The pushback is just too much. But we can kind of, keep track of it, administer it. Figure out, what do we want to do? We need comment on it will come in as far as ideas, and I hope I hope all of those come in, during the next week. I mean, the problem is right now. It's happening right now.
Right. Maybe we can form a committee of board members, planning board, select board, fire chief, building inspector, people like that who might be able to come up with some ideas.
Yes, I think that's absolutely workable. And I think that's what we have to do because, okay, now that it is an ordinance in place, we have to figure out how we're going to administer that ordinance.
Sounds good.
Okay. Now we have the applications here for approval, which I just don't know if we can at this moment.
I'm not interested in approving any until we get a little more information.
Yeah, I think it has to be, and it has to start the planning board, but we have to talk to the building inspector. We have to see what their, what their card says on septic plans, what their septic approval is for, because that drives how many guests you can have in a house. So, yeah, let's look at that. And I do have I'll call into Peter Malia, who's going to help, figure this all out for us. All righty. Then I think we'll move on to the Jackson Falls parking. Okay, so at this time, I believe the town is going to, I'm getting some feedback here. I don't know what it is. Beep.
I can hear you all right.
Okay. I think we can keep the limited falls parking in place up at the falls. I know that the Wentworth has some problem with parking down below the snow roller, between the stone bridge and the snow roller. We have to look into the documents for that property. As I understand it, it's part of an easement that was given by Mallet Corp. to the town, I don't know, 80s. But anyway, I think that we have to look into that, how that parking shakes out. I'm not looking to have crowds up at the falls. We also have to look at the deeds to see if the falls itself is a town park or if we need to make it a town park in order to curtail alcoholic beverage there, or if we want to do that. As it is now, there is a ordinance in town from, I think, 1982 about public drinking, but it was in town parking lots and town parks. And we have to look at the language of whether the falls is considered a town park. Any other input for that?
I have none other than the fact that I just hope there's not a lot of glass up there. That's the only thing that concerns me. I saw some pictures of people up there with glass objects.
I've seen some.
Sorry. This is Barbara Terrio. I have some major concerns. I have to drive. I don't have to. I could bypass and go up Black Mountain over Valley Crossroad to continue up on Carter Notch to get home. My concern is the road is very narrow. The people that are parking there, some of the big SUVs with the drop-down backs, the cars that are parked with their blinkers on, waiting for somebody to leave on both sides of the road. If an emergency vehicle had to get up by the falls, they would not get there. And I really, really think that the falls is wild and scenic designated. And it's being destroyed. And unless you see it every day, you would be disgusted. I was supposed to do an elopement there last week. That was supposed to be at 3 o'clock. It wasn't until 6 o'clock that we could even get a parking space to do that. And they were house guests staying here in the village, and that has normally never been a problem. But this was. And in my waiting for them to find a parking space after I had pulled in, knowing then sort of they did another circle around, I went to stand in a parking space to hold it for them and got a plastic bag out of my car to pick up 2 beer cans, 2 masks, and a bag of dog poop that somebody just left there. That happens all the time. And the kind neighbors around there have been picking it up. I came up the road to come back here to come into the meeting this afternoon, and there were people parked in the driveway directly across, 3 cars directly across. I see the police there at least. They circle it all the time. And I've seen so many tickets. People move cones and park there. People go into the disabled parking with no tags and are ticketed, but who knows when they're going to come out. We've advertised the falls, and it's wonderful. And it is a beautiful spot, but not for the day. And if you can convince me that the people in the lower falls are coming up and using the porta potty that we had to put in because there were so many people, then I think that's just a joke. It's totally out of hand. And if we want to see Diana's Bath in Jackson, if we want to see First Bridge in Jackson, all the power. But Tamworth has done it. Crystal Lake has done it. They've made parking for Jackson residents and guests staying in Jackson. If we can have stickers on our cars for the the transfer station, we can have stickers on our cars to use the falls. I just think it's a sin at what's going on up there. And I really think if we don't move soon, we're going to lose the falls. We're going to lose it. Sorry, that's my rant.
This is Denise Sachs. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Well, I would have to heartily second all of the comments that Barbara Terrio has made.
Hey, I'm sorry. I don't mean to break in, but
Yeah.
who's speaking now?
Sorry, this is Denise Sachs.
Thank you.
Okay. And I want to second everything that Barbara Terrio has said. It has been problematic in prior years with cars parked up at the falls, but this year it has exploded. People are unloading. They're blocking traffic. People are walking in the road as if it is a sidewalk. That section of road is narrow and it's blind because of the corners. And it is really something needs to be done. And I totally agree with Barbara. I cannot use the falls at all. I don't even try to use, frankly, I try not to even get out of my yard on the weekends. But it has become inaccessible to Jackson residents, and it is a trash heap. It is, and I feel the police, that's all they're doing is managing the traffic. I'm sure that's not all they're doing, but it's a good majority of what they're doing because the traffic situation is so untenable there. And I have seen that it has migrated down to the parking lots near the Wentworth, where they're parking and they're extending their vehicles into the road. Again, down there, they're standing in the public road. They're walking in the public road. Someone's going to get hurt, and it really ought to be addressed. Thank you.
All right. Well, we have another problem right there at the falls, and it's hard being a tourist town and not being open to tourists. But it almost gives you a bad taste for inviting all these people into town because, for years, I mean, people had respect, and they didn't park everywhere. They didn't park, out in the road. They didn't trash the place and leave garbage around. But life is changing, and I guess we're going to have to figure out, how we're going to change with it because, it's uncomfortable for residents. It's uncomfortable for the neighbors, the neighborhood there, who did have a nice, quiet place to live, and now it's just inundated with people and people who are just not respectful. So I do think that it's all something we have to deal with, and I don't think we're going to just tuck it under the table and, it'll go away, because I don't think it's going to go away. I think it's something that we definitely have to
dealt with.
take. Excuse me?
Hey, Dick, can I interject for a second? This is
Who
Julie.
is this?
It's Julie.
Hi.
I know we have people unmuting themselves because they want to speak, but we've had other people ask to speak, and we said we did not have public comments right now available. So, if other people, there was someone that would like to speak about the Airbnb inspections. So I don't know how you want to do that because we did say no comments.
Oh, I was surprised when I heard people coming on. I don't know the ins and outs of Zoom meetings, but I thought the other people could listen, and I didn't realize they would have an avenue to speak. But I'm not trying to curtail free speech, but it wasn't. I'm more interested in having a written trail and not at this time entertaining a whole lot of input on Jackson Falls or short-term rentals. Particularly on the short-term rentals, I would like people to write in with their ideas. If they have a complaint, to write their complaint in with an address. I think I said that before, and I don't think anybody can make me feel that it's more important than I feel about this. I think this is a really important situation to deal with. So I would like to have the written trail. So that's where
maybe we could have a section that is either before or after the August 11th meeting that allows public comment for both the falls and short-term rentals.
that would be good. John, you'd be all right with that?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Just one little comment about the falls, if I may. There was a time
Sure.
about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, Joyce Allen and I tried to get a couple of spots for just Jackson residents, and I believe we ran into a lot of red tape with the DOT and DES and everything because of the designation of the river, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if we could just have it open for Jackson residents or have spots for Jackson residents. I think it's either all or nothing as far as the falls is concerned, as far as it being public or shut down.
Yes, I think there is something with DOT because it's a state road up through there, but I don't think the parking, but there's the right-of-way, so if we're parking in their right-of-way, anyway, it's all something we have to look into. I don't know what we can do or designate at this time, but certainly we're going to dig into it. And I think that an open forum, I think I'd be ready for it. August 11th meeting. I don't think that we're going to change anything between now and August 11th. It's going to take some time. I would ask the police to, be vigilant over the weekends when we have the just huge influx. But, we're going to have it all week long now. It's summer vacation. People are around. They're coming up and they're renting and they're going to want to get out and do something, so they want to go to the falls. So, yes, it's something that we're really going to have to deal with.
Hey, Dick.
All right. Yes?
This is Jeff Sires. I'm just curious if you'd be willing to entertain other topics for adding to that agenda for the open session on August 11th.
I'd probably, you could write in. Right now, it would be for short-term rentals and Jackson Falls.
Okay. We will we'll write in with a request for another topic to be added. Thanks.
All right, I'm going to move ahead to, the Thompson House would like to extend the liquor license, I think to add 12 more seats in a roped-off area on the front lawn in front of the barn. As far as I could tell, it would still give access to their back parking lot. I didn't see anything that would have me say no. I think it is just for the extent of the coronavirus, so I'd entertain a motion, John, if you cared to make it about their extended liquor license.
Sure, I would make a motion with maybe an amendment to review monthly, just like we did with yesterday's restaurant, just to be fair.
I think that would be good if we review it monthly. If there are complaints about the situation, we can deal with them quickly. Okay, I will second that motion. John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. All right, and we have a request from Friends of the Library. They would like to accept book donations at their storeroom at Gray's Inn Garage. No money it's not a book sale. They're just accepting donations of books. Masks, they'll, practice all safety precautions that they can. And I would say that it'll be a good way for them to acquire some books, and then as soon as it's possible, I think there will be a book sale, which is always a boon to me. I like to accumulate books. What do you think, John?
Sounds fine with me.
All right. Well, I'd make a motion to allow the Friends of the Library to accept donations of books at the Gray's Inn Garage.
We'll second.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes. Okay. Now we go to building permits. Kevin Bennett, are you there? If you are, you're very, very quiet. All right. I'll go through it. I'm not sure that.
I'm
Kevin
unmuted. I'm here.
Oh, he's unmuted. There it is.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to, read them all, but is there any questions on any of them? I guess that's easy.
No, I don't think so. You've looked into each one, and it's all acceptable with ordinances?
Yep, exactly. And following up on some of them too. Yep. So, pretty straightforward.
Things picked up for you?
So, yeah. So, if there's any questions, I can answer any.
I have none, other than you're busy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very busy. Yep. Yeah. I thought the permits would slow down, but they're still kind of trickling in weekly. So, still a lot of stuff going on.
All right. Well, that's good for the town. I think that people maintaining their residence, to see solar panels going in, and people putting in new windows, stuff.
And deck.
Do we have to? I don't think we have the building permits. I think that the building inspector has that. It's for our information that he brings that to us. So thank you, Kevin.
Okay.
And now we have upcoming meetings. Next meeting is August 11th. If we open it up for public comment, we're going to have as well prepare for the meeting. That will be Tuesday, August 11th at 4 p.m., still via Zoom. And the next one after that is August 25th, 4 p.m. via Zoom. And now I would like to go into non-public to,
Well, if I could do one more thing, if I could add one thing to the agenda quickly, Dick?
Sure.
It's more of an FYI, but I think we have to vote on it officially. But Bartlett Selectmen want to engage in a new hauler for their metal pile, or our metal pile. And they wanted to get our okay to pursue a contract with Richter's Salvage Yard in Tamworth to take care of our metal pile. We just need a quick approval of that.
I think that's totally acceptable. I've been down to Rickers myself, and they are quite an outfit. We still have Roger Labby will get the copper and brass. I think he salvages, but Rickers will come in and haul off just the metal, the white goods, and everything else. Yeah. So I would say I would make a motion to have the transfer station make a contract with Rickers to haul off the metal.
I will second.
John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett?
Yes. Thank you for that. Otherwise, I will make a motion to go into non-public, if that is still on the table.
It is. And I have lost the RSA number of what we're doing. I don't know why.
It's RSA 91-A:32A.
There you go.
All right.
I knew the first part.
I will second that motion to go into non-public. John, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Bennett, yes, at 4:52.
Right. Thank you all for joining today's meeting.
Okay.
We just have to wait a few minutes until everyone gets off.
Right.
Yeah. You ought to run a quiz show.
Alex Trebek.
Let's make a deal.
Selectmen's meeting right now.
Yeah, there are still 9 participants that we need to
log off.
wait. Yep. All right, so it looks like we have me, which is 1113. Now, Julie, did you stop the recording, I guess?
Oh, hold on. Let me stop that.